Hello Internet, and welcome back to the Lemonade Stand. I am your host, Standard, and today we're going to be talking about the new upcoming Vince Staples show. Now, interesting little factoid about this show. 4 years back, there was actually a couple test pilots, a short mini-lived web series of 2 episodes back on YouTube, also titled The Vince Staples Show. Now, I genuinely believe this might be some sort of spiritual successor to that because, they use the same logo, but I think really they were like test pilots to see how it would do. So, that being said, this series is being hosted by Netflix and it's coming February 15th. And boy oh boy, really, this year is just kind of seeing a pattern of rappers getting these TV shows or movies. We already got the 21 Savage American Dream movie coming up, and now we have this, so it's quite surprising. I'm kind of waiting to see if more rappers get shows and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like this is the first time it's ever happened or this is new stuff, but I'm just kind of noticing a pattern. So I would like to see if, anyone else gets a show or a movie. Fingers crossed we get more rap content in, mainstream media. And, it's quite funny about that little YouTube series, that it was really well produced. It was high quality, I'm not gonna act like it was like the greatest thing ever written. They were like short, but for what it was, for being YouTube videos, like, the camera works pretty nice, and like they even got a Ray J cameo. For example, the second episode was just Vince Staples running away from his girlfriend because he cheated on her, so he goes to Ray J's house. In the first episode, he's trying to get a haircut before a show, and it ends up getting screwy. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the tone is carried on from the series to the show. But honestly, that's what it looks like, especially from the trailer. If you watch it, like, he gets into a couple scuffles, like there's a bank robbery scene, there's a scene where he's fighting some mascot of an amusement park, you know what I mean? There's another one where he's gonna bail someone out of jail, so it looks like it's gonna follow the same tone too. I'm not sure if it's a direct canonical like connection. I don't know if they're really linked series, but I genuinely believe it really was more of a test pilot thing than the actual first 2 episodes. But who knows? I don't think Netflix is gonna have 2 6-minute episodes for the first season. I don't think that'd be something they do. But I just hope and pray that it's just as funny, because it does look very dramatized, very dramatic, and action-packed. You know what I mean? There was not much to be left desired. You know what I mean? If you like action, if you like drama, this series really looks like it could hit that niche for you, especially with the comedy. Back, like, I believe it was last year, he did an interview with Big Boy talking about the series, and he mentioned that he wanted it to be very real. Those were his exact words, that he wanted it to be real, because in the analogy he gave, he said that when you think about gangbanging and gangbanging life, you think that like it's always like snowfall and it's always action packed, and death lingers around every corner. And he said it's not really like that. He said it's 97% of the time it's paranoia, and 3% of the time is when shit hits the fan. So he says he wants to explore that 97% of the time of his life, and just gangbanging life in general. So that's really neat. He's giving us a new perspective into that sort of street life, and like I said before, it does seem very dramatized, but I'm not gonna act like I know anything about that territory. I'm excited to see his little spin on that kind of life, and his life in general You know what I mean? It just looks like a romp of good fun. I think you should go into it and just watch it for what it is. You know, I'm not going to be too critical. I'm not going to overanalyze it. It just looks like a lot of fun. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like it's trying to take itself too seriously. I'm not sure. I don't know what the tone's going to be, but from what I've seen, it just looks action-packed, dramatic, and some comedy sprinkled in there for you. So that being said, you know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the show? What are your thoughts on the trailer? Are you excited? Are you a Vince Staples fan? Or are you willing to give this show a try? You know, I think even if you're not a Vince Staples fan, you should give it a try. Maybe give it a try. See if it's for you, and if it's for you, then hey, you know, you could check out his music, and you know, you can really get to know the man and pick at his brain a little bit. You know, it's just a brand new perspective to see him on, and that's interesting for me. I love that. That's why I'm gonna watch American Dream, the 21 Savage story, and that's why I'm gonna watch this. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and YouTube, and have a wonderful rest of your night.
Feeling like I'm floating to the ceiling, is it magic?
Y'all know who the fuck
Tell
is
me why
this?
you disappearing, is it magic?
I don't want to say with the magic. These motherfuckers ain't got no taste. No taste. Culture yourselves.